But hey, okay, so check this out. This here is the white sample of Stars of Ikarios, the core box. Isn't it huge? It's like I get a workout. Get a workout with it, but it's big. So a couple changes on the box. We get this white sample. Basically, what a white sample is, we send the manufacturer a list of components that we want, sizes of cards, how many, and then they send it all back to us with nothing printed on it, just so that we can go through it. We can see about the card quality, check the quantity, just kind of check some of the specifics, and then make adjustments on the next round. And then either we'll get another white sample first, or the next round will be a printed sample with artwork and everything kind of laid out, which is I'm thrilled for. I was like so excited to get this. So, um, first things first, consider turning down video settings. Oh, my computer's freaking out. Uh, Let me just, it's because I have too many things going on, too many windows here, guys. I have Illustrator open, InDesign open, Chrome open. Okay, here we go. This is fine. All right, so um, this box, it's already pretty hefty, but we're actually growing it about another 10 millimeters esque. And so this box is going to get a little bit bigger. All right, let's open it. Take a little peek inside. We have our game board. Game board, I think we're going to try to increase the thickness of it. It's just a kind of it's a classic like four-fold game board. Kind of exciting, kind of not. It's just a game board with a bunch of hex on it. Should be good. We have our rule book here. This one is like a 40, or sorry, this is a 32-page rule book, but I think we're at like 40 some pages. Let me speak about the rule book for a second, everyone. So I sent out a version of the rule book online, and we had some incredible feedback. Thank you all so much if you read the rule book and provided some feedback on it. It was really helpful. And then we hired Paul Grogan from Gaming Rules for a day to go through it and provide updates and kind of questions, clarifications. And so he spent, I think, like 6 or 7 hours working through the rule book and trying to play the game and all that stuff. And it's great. He's well, a couple things. He's really excited about the game, but he had a lot of comments on the rule book, and I am so thankful that we sent it to him. And basically, after hearing his feedback, I I spent about probably 60 hours rewriting the rule book. Pretty significant undertaking taking. We It was just a big one. It was just kind of clarifying. Paul's biggest issue was that all the rules were there; they just weren't laid out um, as accessibly as they could be. And so it was like, hey, this is good feedback. Let's just go at it now instead of doing it for a second edition. Even though we will fix even more things for a second edition if we find errors. And so I spent a whole week doing that. I'm pretty happy about the changes that we made, and then after I did that, put it back to the graphic designer. We had a couple more examples. There's a lot of work to be done, and so we made an error on one of the programs we used for setting up the rule books. We actually switched that, increased our time with that, and he is just finishing up the rule book stuff. I hope to be releasing it on the weekend. At least it'll be released in the next update for more feedback. Um, I hope you guys will enjoy that. Okay. As always, ask questions if you have any. I'll try to get to them. Holy, sorry guys. Um, I just scrolled down on the on the message board. Um, Let me try to catch up with some of these things. You are live, but the video is choppy. I hope it's still not choppy. You know what? Here, let me just do something. I might freak everything out here. Okay, how's everything going here? Video. I can't change my stream. I hope it's a little bit better now. Pretty smooth. Okay, much better now. Great. So I unplugged my monitor. We should be good to go there. And I'm gonna try to keep the I'm gonna try to keep the comments because I couldn't see any of the comments. So okay. Um, Gladys is wondering if Paul's going to be taking a look at the second rule book. Yes, we're going to send it over to him. I don't think he's going to do as extensive of a look on it, but he is hopefully going to be able to take just a little peek over at it. Also, we're going to be posting the rule book, and you'll be able to see everything in it also. So really big news. We're happy about that. Thankful that it's we're doing the hard works on that. Jonathan asked, any thoughts on expansions during the second edition? Yeah, I have one thought, but I'm not going to talk about it for. I'm not going to talk about it right now. We do drop a couple of hints actually during the campaign of Icarios. Okay, so let me get back to the white sample here. If you didn't see it before, it's really big. It's full of awesome, just white sample stuff. This here is roughly the size of the enemy card holders, which can't tell, but there's going to be a nice little notch. The card's going to go in here. It's great. This dual layer, actually, sorry, I was wrong. This is the Sparrow tray mat. This is the Sparrow mat. It's going to get cut up, go inside the tray. This here is the size of our player boards. These are the dual layer ones. Pretty significant, pretty awesome. We have 4 of those kicking around. Boom, 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 boom. My desk isn't big enough for all this. And then we're coming to the scenario book. This here is, I believe it's 180 pages. The book is actually, right now it's printed on too thick of paper. And so we're gonna get that worked on. It's the book's really heavy. And it's quite thick. There is a ton of content in this game, guys. I hope you enjoy it. There's such a cool story to be told. Lots of cool planets and worlds to discover. Planets and worlds, I guess, are the same thing. Okay, and then I don't know if you can see this, but I kind of opened up the cards and it became a little bit of a mess. So we just have a ton of cards here. These are the enemy combat card holders. I think we're going to call them enemy boards. That's what we're going to call them. Jonathan's asking how many scenarios. We are. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember our latest count. We're clocking in over 100. And yeah, clocking in over 100. And that's a combination of kind of world exploration scenarios, which are quite a bit of content and story. And then everything else. Okay, so kind of going back to the cards, right? They actually printed these wrong. You'll notice that the rounded edge. Oh, look at, I have a call coming in from our graphic designer, Dan. Hang on. We have, these are the standard card sizes, and the corners can get rounded off, so it's the same roundness as this one. These are like the tech cards, the trauma cards, different pilot upgrades, a little bit smaller size. Then we have our, trying to look for the bigger ones. Oh yes, okay, these are the space exploration cards, right? So big map. This game might be a little bit of a table hog. Well, that's okay. It's a lot of good stuff, and you don't have to have it all out at the same time. And then here, these are the size of the world exploration cards. So these are, I think, are the same size as the Seventh Continent square cards. Kind of an interesting, not like, I think Seventh Continent is great. Interesting thing that Paul mentioned. I hope he's okay with me mentioning this. He played just the beginning of the first world exploration scenario, Chosic, and he's like, "Oh, this is what I wanted, right? From world exploration, right? It's telling a story, and that's kind of the cool thing." Adam is mentioning the player boards look huge. Also, yeah, the player boards do look huge, Adam. I don't think you're wrong. We actually had it chopped off, probably right about like here, um, originally, and then we were gonna have people slide in the pilot and the tech cards on the side, but we're like, why are we doing that? Why don't we just make the whole thing? Is there gonna be a box insert for storage? Oh Nelly, is there gonna be a box insert for storage? I am so excited. Uh we're working closely right now with game trays on the box inserts, and I've shared them inside to our team. But they would rather us not share these not final render trays. Suffice to say, we have a big tray at the bottom for just a bunch of kind of like the miniatures and some other stuff. And then we have four player trays where you kind of they're like quick save trays, right? So each player, each pilot, there's a spot for a miniature, there's a spot for upgrades, there's a spot for the four action dice that each player has, and that just kind of stores in a nice little tray that you can take it, you can pass it out. Oh, and then the the squad progression sheet just kind of stores on that. And then there's a sparrow tray, and so the sparrow lives in there, and it's kind of your campaign save system, which is really cool. So there's the player trays, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then on top of that, I think I'm trying to remember the layering. Oh yeah, okay. On top of the player tray is a big tray for all the cards. Really excited about this. So basically, all of the cards live in this cool. They're all kind of separated by the category, so you're not gonna have to spend like a ton of time looking for stuff. And you can easily just kind of pick up the set of cards and move them. Really, really cool. Really excited about that. And then there's a lid, I think, for those trays. Each of the other trays have a lid also, but there's a lid for the card tray. And then at the very top, slots in the game boards. They have a nice little area in the tray. Josh, you missed out on the pledge manager, man. We did have it open like for forever. I'm not blaming you. Um, it is going to be available for pre-ordering soon from our website. It's going to be available for pre-order soon. Unfortunately, you missed out on the pledge. If you have a pledge of more than $1 from the Kickstarter days, you can send us an email and we'll take care of that. But unfortunately, our late pledge is closed. But you'll be able to purchase everything pre-order. It will be a little bit more expensive than it was on the Kickstarter. If you go back to the prices, I don't the I think we were a little bit stupid with the deal that we gave everyone. Stupid, generous. Let's say generous. I think we were a little bit generous with the deal that we gave everyone. The amount of content and quality content that's in this game is, I don't think, like all you first wave backers. Hey, kudos for you for jumping in on a deal with the amount of miniatures and game that you'll get. Yeah, but everyone else, Gloomhaven had to do the same thing after their first print. They realized that I'm not saying, hey, if this game even compares, to that level of success, that would be incredible. But they had to raise their price after the first print because they realized that they were a little bit too generous. Okay. Oh, hey, I have a couple more things. 1 second. I guess I can keep on speaking. This here is kind of our miniature box. We haven't finalized the box size of that yet. Come on here. But it has a couple of fun things. First of all, I'll be honest, I've never been a neoprene matte type of guy. But then I saw this, and it's just like it's literally just white. But this is gonna be dual layer, right? So it's gonna have two different space scenes on it, and and I'm excited. I'm excited to just to throw down this neoprene mat on my board, and I'm just hyping up the neoprene mat. We will have them. They will be available for purchase. Um, I don't think at any more cost. So the same price in Pledge Manager will be available online. But I am stoked for the neoprene. Um, yeah, it's interesting. You don't need it to play, obviously, but I think it's there's some potential that's gonna be pretty cool. Uh, oh yeah, if you're wondering, hey Brendan, where's all the miniatures? So we have all of our STL files, kind of the final round of revisions sent off to China. But this is Chinese New Year. And so I believe eStar, the factory that we're printing with, is not back until next week, I believe. And at that time, they're going to be able to do a round of revisions, and hopefully we'll get the miniatures shortly. I'm trying to remember what else is in here. No, that was really the only kind of cool thing I wanted to show you from there. Some stuff here at the bottom that I'm not quite sure of. Oh yeah, there's punch boards. That's what I forgot. There's some punch boards at the bottom uh, of the main box. Okay, so that is a big kind of spewing of information. I'm going to post this video on YouTube for everyone who kind of didn't have a chance. And I just want to touch base on the timeline. And it's January 28th. I'm going to be posting an update on our Kickstarter page pretty soon. We had originally we had scheduled our delivery we'll start shipping mid-August. Right now, with the reason, or sorry, with the rule book changes, we're pushing that a couple weeks. So it's late August right now, so nothing has actually changed from our delivery date outside, but internally it has changed. Jason Pensa asked, will the neoprene mat come rolled? Yes. I believe it comes rolled and in a tube. Um, that's a great note. We will confirm, but I believe it becomes rolled and in a tube. Don't quite quote me on that because I haven't looked into the neoprene mats in a little bit. But hey, great question. Because yeah, you don't want the creases, right? Um, so kind of where that is leaving us right now with kind of the state of game development. We have our writers are finishing up the side quest, which is great. Um, I am importing the side quest into the scenario book. Our graphic designers are all the cards are finished. I'm doing a mental check in my head. The world exploration and space exploration will not be finished. Or sorry, they will never be finished. No, I'm just kidding. They're not finished yet. So um, uh, I'm handing Dan, the graphic designer who's taking care of that, has just started working on those. And then the other kind of like 1,000 cards or whatever it is are finished. And we went through one round of PDF edits, and then I'll probably do another round, and then I'm actually going to probably post them online for the backers. You guys can kind of catch any of the edits. Uh, and we had a question here about, let me just read the question. Hello, at what stage are you in the translation of the game? Thank you for these wonderful presentations. Well, hey, thank you, Gene. Gene Baptist, the guy. It's fantastic. So, translations. This is kind of our timeline for translations. And I didn't make this quite clear on the last Kickstarter update. We are finishing content of the game is finishing off to printers March 8th or March 15th, kind of somewhere in there. And then we have a couple weeks where we are doing editing. Okay, I need to kind of step back. So we have files off the printer. These it's kind of like in a sense, it's our rough draft files. It's everything will be there, but we know that this isn't what we're going to have. We just want to see what it looks like printed out, and so that is. That's in March 8th or 15th. And then we're spending 2 to 4 weeks doing a bunch of edits. And so we have some stuff internally, and then we have hired a proofreader editor to work through all of the edits. and then we're going to have those English files off to the printer. And kind of at the same time that those English files goes off to the printer is when we actually hand those English files off to our translators, who will then spend the first couple months of production of the English game translating. And then by the time the English game is finished production or nearing the end, right, kind of nearing that end production phase, then we slide in the translations, and because there's not as many, we should be able to kind of have those translations finish up at the same time the English translations do, and then we'll ship everything to the doorstep. So you see, kind of, there's a lot of moving parts kind of layered in with one another, and all of that is kind of built on this like bedrock foundation of, hey, we're making sure that the game first is good, that it's fun, that it's balanced, that it's playable, that there's, a game this size, there's going to be some typos probably left or some little mistakes, but we want to make sure that the game is 100% fun and playable, and that there's no glaring errors. And so that is kind of priority number one, which means that we are going to work hard. uh, Sorry, I just read. I read Ron Ron Lang's post about the future expansion will be $200 US, $300 US. Ron, just kidding. Um, and so our goals to kind of work hard to make sure that this game is awesome. And with that, you're actually going to notice something that's coming on live shortly. We're kind of going to build out our testing team a little bit here, a little bit more permanent basis. To answer your question seriously, Ron, the core box of the game won't even be $200. Okay, core box won't even be 200. We have a price in mind for the core box, and it's actually I don't think it's too much more than what we were selling it. I don't know. Anyways, Adam asks some good questions. Adam, you're cutting to the heart here. Any lessons learned that any lessons learned that you would put forward? Oh, this it's in two sentences, two messages. Any lessons learned that you'd put towards future game designs? Yes. Okay. Let me answer a couple of them. Translations are a headache. They're not a bad headache, but they're kind of a headache. We should have probably kept it to German and French and maybe Spanish. Spanish and Italian, we're we're gonna lose probably a good chunk of money on those two. Yeah, we're gonna lose some money on those two. But yeah, German and French for physical translations. Yeah, future, depending on how much like writing content is in a game, I think I'm for sure going to commit to digital translations. And then with the writing content, it's got to be big markets. It's too easy to lose money on translations. It's expensive. It's expensive, guys. So that was a big kind of manufacturing one. We, I don't know if it's just that I didn't like believe. I thought Stars of Icarus was going to do good and like hit $250,000. And the fact that since like it's done about like 1.1, 1.2 million, like that kind of blew me away, which is fantastic. But because of that, like we lacked some planning of stretch goals and how the content would kind of fit in. And while I don't actually feel like the game is bloated, we took on a lot of content in this game, and so I just want to make sure that that is delivered on. And then going forward, right? I think it's just to be planned more, which is great. Um, yeah, plan ahead of time a little bit more. Jonathan is asking about the Care ship. Um, yeah, Cares was an add-on. It was a early bird ship, and it's a ship that's available. It's available for people who bought it. I don't know. There's a miniature, there's a ship tile, and then there's 3 cards that come with it. Yeah, don't know what else to say. It's pretty cool. Wow. Okay. I am happy. I meant to do this on or last week, because I wanted to show you all this amazing box of goodness. That's like, I think it can fit like 3 or 4 cats, probably. I don't know if cats are a good measurement, but I bet that's kind of what it can fit. All right, team, I am going to log off. I'm going to post this online. I hope you have a great rest of the night, or I guess wherever you are, and have a good weekend. And